Another Raw in the books. This was definitely an interesting one. There was, I think, there was only a total of like 5 matches, but like the third match really did not count. Let's talk about the night. So Raw after SummerSlam started with Roman Reigns opening up. Came out to the ring and says that he saved the company, basically. He was saying when he came back at WrestleMania, he saved the company from that old man, CM Punk. Basically just saying how he's the greatest of all time. And then LA Knight came out and said he was surprised because him and Royce Keys and Solo were saying, you know, he can't do it on his own. He can't beat Seth Rollins on his own. He'll need the bloodline. And he was surprised that he beat Seth Rollins clean with no bloodline. And see, he said, congrats, but you are still a fraud because you never beat me one-on-one, and I want the same treatment. So LA Knight's basically asking Roman Reigns for a title shot, which I would love, and it seems to be what's coming probably at Saturday night's main event. Well, Sunday event, I guess. They're doing it on a Sunday. Roman tells him that he's a waste of time, essentially, and tells him to get in the back of the line. And while Roman walks away, LA Knight basically says, no balls. He's like, yeah, you have great aura when you're not standing directly next to me. So it sounds like that's probably going to be the next championship match. LA Knight is not going to win, but it'll be good to see the match. First match of the night is Javon Evans versus Ethan Page, which I thought was... I could be wrong. I mean, I've been watching every week. Maybe I'm not paying attention. It just seems very random. I'm not sure what the match was. Correct me in the comments. I don't know why this match would have been happening, but I definitely feel like Ethan Page is getting a little buried. I feel like they could be doing more with him, but time will tell. It was an okay match. There was a reversal that Ethan Page did at one point where Javon Evans went to go jump off the ropes, and he went and pushed it down as he went to jump, and he just fell. I thought that was a pretty cool reversal. Again, the match was okay. It ended with an OG cutter from Javon Evans and him getting the win. And weirdly, this is where Big Cass made his return. Javon Evans was standing in the ring celebrating, and Big Cass made his return standing behind him and attacking him to no pop. There was a little bit of cheering, but no one really seemed to care that he came back. I think the problem is that everyone was expecting Enzo to come back with him, his former tag team partner. Big Cass is definitely going to need to build his name around himself and try to get more away from Enzo. I think that's the problem. I think that's why there wasn't much of a pop. So I can't wait to see what he does from here on. I am a fan. I was hoping that Enzo would come back with him because their tag team is great. But if it's just Big Cass, I am very interested in what he's going to do. I'm going to give the Javon Evans Ethan Page match a 5 out of 10. It was all right. Cut to Roman backstage with the Bloodline. Roman was pretty disappointed in them losing their match against LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo. He was saying like Solo should be getting him coffee. You know, where is Solo? And he was disappointed in Jacob Fatu for saying that Royce Keys was his brother and stuff, and said that I don't know why you're saying that he's family when he's not family. And he told the group to leave LA Knight alone. Don't touch him. He will handle him. So definitely some sort of rivalry coming. And then LA Knight came up behind Roman as he left, and he was like, "Did I hear that right? Did he say not to touch me?" And he just messed with them and like flexed on Jay and told I don't remember who he told it to. I think he was Jacob Fatu. He was like, "Better not touch me or your daddy will come whip you or something." Dude, I love LA Knight. He's so good. Yeah. And then Jacob Fatu, it cuts back to him in a different part of... I think there was actually a Big Cass interview in between this. I don't remember. It wasn't very memorable. It was just him saying, you know, Javon Evans was the first of many. It wasn't personal, but it wasn't really that crazy. But the next thing was Jacob Fatu talking to Royce Keys and telling Royce Keys that he's not family, he's not a brother. And he challenged him to a street fight, which got me hyped for the night because so far it was kind of meh. Judgment Day comes out. Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel. Liv was just basically saying, you know, she's the best champion in the world of all time. That Io couldn't touch her, you know, she beat Io. Gave props to Raquel for becoming Intercontinental champion. I'm so excited for Raquel. And said they couldn't have done it without Roxanne. And then said that Roxanne's going to put Saruka in her place, which was the next match. So we got Sol Ruca versus Roxanne Perez. It was weird because when Raw went to commercial, Sol Ruca attacked Roxanne Perez in a very like heel fashion. So I thought that was weird. It was a pretty good match. They did some very good back and forth. Liv Morgan just kept making funny comments outside the ring. Sol Ruca ended up trying to go for the Soul Snatcher, and while she went up to do the move, Liv Morgan tripped Sol Ruca. The referee saw it, and it ended in a DQ with Sol Ruca winning with the DQ. Everyone jumped in to attack Sol Ruca, and while they were jumping Sol Ruca, Becky Lynch made her return. I think this is her first time since WrestleMania. I think, pretty sure. Actually, don't know the last time that we saw her. But it seems that she returned as a face, which is pretty cool. She was making fun of Liv Morgan for only defending it in a total one time in the 100 days, saying that women's champion should be defending on a regular basis, and saying that she's not even the best champion in her group or the best champion that slept with Dominic Mysterio, which is a great comment. And then right after she made that comment, they were backing up the ramp, and Stephanie Vaquer came back, which I'm so excited for. I love her. Stephanie beats everyone's butt down the ring, beats up Liv Morgan, and while she's in the ring with Becky Lynch and Liv and Judgment Day run off, Becky and Stephanie are having a face-off in the ring. So I don't know if it's going to be like a number one contenders match coming up to see who's going to fight Liv, or if it's going to be a triple threat, or what's going to happen there. But definitely an interesting moment. I'm excited. Following this was a Brock Lesnar video package, and I'm pretty sure it was a farewell to Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns even said, have fun hunting at the end of the package. I don't know if any of the wrestlers said anything at the end of the package because I didn't catch the end of it. I was dealing with my child. But at the very end, it does cut to Paul Heyman actually watching the video package and Obafemi walking up to him. And I got really excited here because I was like, oh my God, is Obafemi a Paul Heyman guy? And no, he was just saying, Obafemi told Paul Heyman to say thank you to Brock, and they shook hands. So it was a pretty cool moment. I think this was during an ad break. Danhausen came out and threw out his human monies. It was a interesting moment. It seems like Danhausen is really just a comedy break at the moment, which is a little bit of a bummer. You can see that the hype is dying a little bit behind him. They need to give him a little bit of a break, in my opinion. I think they should take him off TV for a bit and not be using him as much, because he is a draw, but they're using him too much. Obafemi comes out after his conversation with Paul Heyman backstage. The crowd was hot behind him. He was just standing in the ring, and the whole crowd was just Oba. It was very passionate moment. He delivered a passionate promo. He was saying thank you to Brock for passing the torch, and he wanted to say that he was going to lead this new generation. I am so excited for Obafemi. This is huge for him. As long as they keep the push going and they keep the momentum going, Obafemi's going to do great things. Obafemi started to leave after giving us this great promo, and on the way out, Judgment Day came out. Or not Judgment Day, sorry. The Vision came out. Braun Breaker and Obafemi crossed paths, and they stared each other down. And then when they went to walk away, Braun Breaker came back and got back into Obafemi's face. And then they went away from each other. And while they went away from each other, Braun Breaker the entire time was just staring down that ramp, waiting for Oba to come back. It cut to ad break. It was the next match, which was Braun Breaker versus Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry made his entrance during the ad break, which again, another wrestler who lost their momentum, because this was just a squash match. Braun Breaker, while Joe Hendry was behind him, was just staring down that ramp, and it was a long time. He was just staring down that ramp. He was staring down that ramp for like 5 minutes. I feel like Joe Hendry went to turn around Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker just clotheslined him to hell. JBL would be proud. Joe Hendry was outside the ring, and Austin Theory was telling Braun Breaker, break this guy. He was telling him, get him. Joe Hendry turned around and started to punch Austin Theory, and while he was distracted by Austin Theory, Braun Breaker ran around the ring and broke him in half with a spear. I was expecting this. Rolled him in the ring, pinned him, 1, 2, 3. Match was over. It was a squash match. Braun Breaker left. They made it seem like he was going to go backstage and just immediately find Obafemi, but that was the last we saw of Braun Breaker. Austin Theory did start attacking Joe Hendry in the ring. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but Tozawa did actually come in for the rescue. Got some good shots in there until Maxine pulled Austin Theory away. And he said, "You're lucky. Maxine separated us. You're lucky." I'm going to give that match a 1 out of 10. It was good story build, but it was just a spear and done. It was a squash match to Joe Hendry, which not long ago had so much hype. So they kind of, at the moment, Joe Hendry's momentum is done. There's no hype. After that was Chad Gable's title celebration. So he got to come out to the ring and say thank you to everyone. Everyone's saying that he deserves it. He thinks he earned it. He was saying he was grateful to Penta and saying Penta's the greatest luchador of all time. Sure, you can say that. I don't agree. There's plenty of others. There's Eddie, there's Dom, there's Ray. But sure. Penta then comes out and says that he does deserve the championship. And they basically were kissing each other. They were saying, "No, you're good. No, you're good." That's when Judgment Day came out. Dom and JD McDonough. Dominic and JD are basically like, "We're tired of hearing this kissing up. You know, it's getting old." Chad Gable and Penta challenged them to a tag team match. So the next match, the fourth match of the night, is Judgment Day versus Penta and Dom. Sorry, Penta and Chad. I did end up missing half of this match, so I'm not gonna rate this match. I was dealing with my child again. I will say the second half of the match was very good. There was great high spots and good back and forth. Dom did go to cheat. He put the hammer in his boot, went to go do the 619. Chad reversed with catching his feet, and then he saw the hammer in his boot and showed the ref, and the ref was like, "What's wrong with you?" And while the ref was going to put the hammer back, Dom was going to do something to Chad, and while Dom was going to do that move, Penta jumped up and hit Dom in the head with the championship while the ref was distracted. Chad pinned him, got the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, like I said, good match, but I'm not going to rate it. If I were to rate it off this last half of the match, I'd give it like a 7. Next segment was Braun Breaker backstage with Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker was just telling Paul Heyman, "Look, I'm going after Obafemi. Just want to give you a heads up." And Paul Heyman's like, Why would I need to know? Thank you for telling me. Why do I need to know? And Braun's like, "Oh, I guess you guys were best friends now, right?" And then walks away. And Paul Heyman's like, "Oh my gosh." So I would love if this continues and Paul Heyman is now, or Obafemi is now a Paul Heyman guy. That'd be fantastic. Now we get to the main event of the night, Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys in a street fight. This match was some heavy hitting. This was a fantastic match. In the beginning of the match, Jacob Fatu was saying like, "Hey, you know, I have no choice. I have to do this. You know, shouldn't have gotten in the way. This is for the bloodline." They did some very, very intense spots. Royce Keys was throwing chair after chair after chair into the ring. And then while he was putting Jacob Fatu in the ring, Jacob Fatu came over to the ropes to come get him in the ring. And while he did that, Royce Keys did a kendo stick to the head. Oh my God, he did it hard too. He did not pull back on that. And then he got in the ring and continued to do these really hard kendo shots. You can see the marks on Jacob Fatu's back. I was like, holy crap, he was laying them in. And believe me, Jacob Fatu got his turn. When he got the kendo stick, he laid them in too. You can see Royce Keys like, ah! They went to the top rope at one point, and Royce Keys did like a power slam to Jacob Fatu onto the chairs that were in the ring. I thought that was a scary moment. I was like, oh man, I really hope there was nothing like sticking up or anything. But yeah, he did a power slam. I did get ahead of myself. Before he did that, Jacob Fatu put two chairs together like this, and he was going to do a suplex with Royce Keys. Royce Keys reversed and did a suplex to Jacob Fatu through the chairs. Great spots. I loved it. While Royce Keys was going to put Jacob Fatu through a table, Jacob Fatu reversed and did a Samoan slam with Royce Keys through the table. And while Royce Keys was on the floor after the table spot, Jacob Fatu went to go do his weird like finger in the mouth or something. I don't know what he does. It's like a weird submission thing. Or like he was choking him out. It's a weird submission thing. He went over and choked him out, and that's how he actually won the match. He choked out Royce Keys. He went away for a second, and then he came back, and I noticed like a little red thing on the floor. I was like, what is that? And I looked at Royce Keys' mouth, and he was bleeding. I'm like, oh, it's a capsule. They did a terrible job hiding it. Royce Keys was bleeding from the mouth as Jacob Fatu was beating him. And he put the chair around his neck and put him in the corner to like break his neck, you know. And right before he did it, everyone from the back came to stop him, and it looked like he was going to go away. And then he went, and he decided to do it anyways and slammed his ass against him and broke his neck. That's how they ended the night, with Roman Reigns coming out and being like, giving the nod of approval. I thought the night was over there. I was like, man, that was an all right Raw. It was okay. It was a lot of segments more than matches, but when Roman did get back, when he got in the back, I thought it was over. He got in the back, and Rey was waiting there. I was like, Rey Mysterio shook hands with Roman. I was like, okay. And Rey Mysterio said, you do know I'm the manager of AAA, right? And he's like, I do now. And he's like, I have a proposition for you, or let me talk to you for a second. So looks like Roman Reigns is going to do something at AAA, maybe during their Mexico event. So that'll be cool. But overall, I'm going to give this Raw, I kind of wanted to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 7. Just, I think the Jacob Fatu Royce Keys match saved this Raw. Oh, that match got an 8 out of 10. Sorry, I forgot to rate it. But yes, the overall night was a 7 out of 10. It was an all right Raw. I'm looking forward to NXT tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to SmackDown. I want to see Chelsea. I'm so excited to see Chelsea. If you guys enjoy wrestling content, subscribe for more. This whole channel is wrestling, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.